Hi everyone, I'm Marianne. I'm a visual artist and voice coach from Singapore, currently in Singapore, and welcome to day 34 of my 100-day vlog series. So this is a daily vlog series where I share what I've learned about the artist's journey, about the creative process, about pursuing your passion, following your dreams, manifesting, whatever it is that's really meaningful to you, what it means to discover a worthy purpose for yourself, and basically a lot of things that I've learned about personal growth and evolution in this journey called life. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below, or you can directly message me through any of my social media links, which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. So the past couple of days I talked about how the process of growth and expansion and pushing past your comfort zone is very painful and struggling and full of drama. And yesterday I shared about how if you're working on a project that has a specific time frame, somewhere around the 30 to 50% mark is where you're going to meet the most resistance, and your temptation to quit is very, very, very high at this point in time because you haven't invested that much in it yet. So somehow the parts of you that want to stay in your comfort zone will kind of justify that, if you quit now, it's still not too bad because you haven't invested a lot of things yet. You're not near the halfway mark yet, like it's okay to quit. So how do you maintain an awareness about that, and how do you actually push past these resistance, which are usually the voices in your head, and continue on towards that goal that you have set for yourself and towards that thing that you're pursuing. Well, the reason why these things come up is because whatever it is you're going after is something that really matters to you, is something that's really meaningful to you and means a lot to you, and it is also outside your capabilities. And so that's why all these different parts of ourselves will act up to kind of renegotiate with ourselves to stop doing it so that we can go back to feeling comfortable and at peace once again. At peace, because you're not really gonna be at peace until you complete this thing, because if you don't complete it, if you quit it, you're always gonna feel this sense of incompletion. So the thing is, how do we push on forward? I think a few days ago or a few weeks ago, I don't know now, I did make a video about how when we're pursuing something that is for the long term, really you want to focus on what's happening right now. You want to focus on what you need to do right now. So like the example I think I gave was running 5 kilometers, my own exercise routine. As I'm running 5 kilometers and I'm looking at the amount of distance that I still have in front of me to complete that distance, and it's like, oh my god, it's so far. But when I just focus on my breathing, or focus on my current footsteps, or just focus on enjoying the movement of my body and the scenery around me, then it becomes easier to cover that distance, because eventually I'm going to get there anyway. So it's the same thing in what you're doing. You want to focus on what is the next best thing to do, what's the next right thing to do. There's a song in Frozen 2 where I'm not gonna spoil the story for you, but Elsa kind of goes on her own self-discovery journey and kind of left Anna behind, and then in the meantime there's some other stuff going on where if Anna doesn't step up, things would basically fall apart. Okay, something like that. So Anna sings this song called The Next Right Thing. And it's basically about if you can't really see what lies ahead, well, in this case you kind of can, because you know where you want to get to, but in the context of the song, okay, if you can't really see what's ahead, all you can do is do the next right thing. All you can do is to take that next step. So when you're struggling to come out of your comfort zone, because it's a bit of a stretch, and it's perfectly normal for you to feel that way. Don't think too much about the end goal that you're trying to get to, but maybe just focus on what is the next thing that you need to do right now. So when I was struggling with my first solo exhibition, and I had 2 weeks where I didn't do anything at all for my project, I think one thing that really helped me was actually talking about it because I did it with a bunch of other people who are also working on their own projects. So we met once a week for a classroom session. So I brought it up during the classroom session that I was really struggling. And what the breakthrough that I had was basically that I just needed to express out the whatever emotions I was feeling. Because once I did that, I was fine. Okay, 2 weeks worth of frustration and whatever, I just let it out, and I was okay after that, and I could continue you know, I could continue working on my project. Like nothing, like those 2 weeks didn't even happen. Um, so, you know, it's really about what is the next thing, what is the immediate thing you need to do right now, or you need to have right now such that you can get past the resistance. So for me, as a, you know, highly emotional person, I need to, you know, every time I come up with resistances in whatever I'm working on, a lot of times I just need to express out whatever emotions there is. So sometimes I would just, you know, journal it out, or I would cry, or I need to talk to someone and voice it out. And then once it's expressed, it's like, oh, okay, everything's fine now and I can continue. So everyone is different. So for you, you know, it's about also figuring out what is that thing for you that you need to do right now that you can handle these resistances that come up. And then the key thing is, you know, try not to focus on too many steps at a time and just take that one step that is next. So like when I'm painting my murals, and you know, especially as the walls became larger and more challenging, all I could do was just focus on the next brush stroke, basically. Because, you know, what is a painting other than a multitude of brush strokes, right? So in the same way, you know, your project and your goals is nothing more than you taking all these little steps to get there. So especially if you have a project time frame, if you have a good solid plan that you have drawn out and that you have, you know, crafted for yourself, it's really just taking the next step. What is the next step? And you just do it, you know. Or if you're working on a project that's about building a habit, then it's just about, okay, what do you need to do such that you maintain this habit? Like if let's say you want to wake up every day at a certain time, right? But that's something that you're still struggling with. Then maybe don't start with that ideal time that you want to wake up at first. Maybe start with something that is still a little bit later. Like, you know, if let's say your ideal time is to wake up at 8 a.m., but you have been waking up at lunch. So maybe start with like 11:30 first, you know, and then when you can do that consistently, you bring it down to 11. Like, it's just taking little steps outside of the comfort zone so that it's not too much of a challenge, so that, you know, whatever resistances you have don't act up as much and they're still manageable. And then other than that is to just keep going at it. There's no other way but to keep going at it. Just one step at a time. You know, what is the next right thing that you need to do? And maintain that awareness also of what is it that you need right now such that you can get past this hurdle, whatever that is. So if you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my Facebook page wherever you're seeing this on. And feel free to ask your questions or share your perspective in the comments, or you can also directly message me. And I will see you tomorrow.